Fayaz Ahmed Sir. I'm Managing Director, Kashmir Mercantile Cooperative Bank. So this bank is a very small bank operating in North Kashmir only, in the 3 frontier districts. Here's a little introduction about the bank. Kashmir Mercantile Cooperative Bank, established in the year 1987 as a primary urban cooperative bank in Sopore town of J&K on the principles of self-help and cooperation. At the age of 2 years only, this baby bank had to face the brunt of disturbances when situation in Kashmir took an ugly turn in the year 1990. In fact, the bank was established on 10th of October 1987. That means we had only 2 peaceful years at disposal to grow. But unfortunately, after 2 years, everyone knows what we have seen in Jammu and Kashmir. Though the big players moved away that time, big banks like State Bank of India, Canara Bank, and all other nationalized banks, they have either closed their branches or they have shifted them to the safer centers. But we decided to serve and survive to our single branch in the most disturbed town in Sopore. Sopore was the most disturbed area during the turmoil in Kashmir, and the bank was having only single branch, that too in that town only. But we have continued our work. We have not gone away. So later in 2001, we have opened one more branch, that too in that town only, that is Sopore. It's also called Apple Town because because of its large production of the apple in that area. Despite heavy odds like curfews, strikes, firings, bomb blasts, killings, the bank survived and served people in their testing time. Though big players were having so many security options, but we had none. So we served people with the local feel and local touch. The bank is currently operating through its 5 branches, spread across 3 frontier districts of Baramulla, Bandipora, and Kupwara. These are the 3 frontier districts. All are connected to line of control. So we are having 5 branches in these 3 districts. And these 5 branches are currently on CBS platform, and we have all the facilities available in our bank, which are available in a commercial bank or in any private sector or public sector bank. So this is how we have actually moved serving the people and growing our bank. So we had a lot of negatives coming every day in the Kashmir, but we have never given up. We have continued our good work and tried to make it a unit, make it a success story for the cooperative department of the Jammu and Kashmir UT now. So, sir, everyone knows in 2008, the Kashmir Valley was shut for months together. The entire Kashmir was, business were shut, colleges, schools, internet, mobile, everything was shut for months together because of some disturbance due to some political turmoil over here. But the bank at that time was not given attention to those disturbances. We have focused to modernize the banking facility. So that in those days, the bank was working on manual platform. So we were using ledgers and all these things. So now that time we're thinking how to computerize, because it had only 2 branches that time. In 2008, we had only 2 branches, but we intend to computerize the branches. So we were planning for that. Ultimately, in 2009, we have migrated bank from manual mode of working to the computerized mode of working in a total branch automation mode. So both of the branches were computerized in 2009 then. Again, 2010, there was widespread violence in Kashmir again due to one reason or the other. So again, the valley was shut, everything was down, but we were again planning for some other things. They had not been given attention to those things. We shifted our attention to some other area. So we are planning for branch expansion. We are planning for a core banking system. We are planning for ATMs. We are planning for all other facilities that other banks were offering in the vicinity or in other areas of country. So in 2011, we opened one branch at district Kupwara, district headquarters Kupwara. This is the very frontier district of Jammu and Kashmir, UT now. So one more branch was opened, and we had spread our wings out of Sopot town. Then in 2012, we opened two more branches. One branch at Bandipura district in the district headquarters, another branch at Baramulla district headquarters. And simultaneously, we were working on upgradation of the technology, and we have implemented core banking system in 2012 in our bank. So this was the first cooperative bank of J&K state, elsewhere J&K state, then in 2012, which implemented core banking system. No other cooperative bank was on this platform. So they were not thinking, in fact, they were very lagging behind. So, but we have implemented core banking system, interconnected all our 5 branches. Then in 2013, we have started RTGS and NEFT system. This interbank fund transfer system, and we have starting SMS alert service also. So all our these transactions, for every transaction, the customer was receiving alert right from 2013. So besides, we have done so many other things during those years. But again, disturbance was always coming either one way or the other. So everything in Kashmir is different. Rest of the country is concerned, but we have not think along those lines. In 2014, we know everyone knows that floods have damaged the entire Kashmir Valley. MPLS network were down, communication lines went down, ATMs were not working, mobile phones, and everything was down those days. But how we managed, almost for 10 days, none of the bank worked in the Kashmir Valley. What we did, we have received the record of all the balances of our accounts over email used in a government office through VSAT. And with those balance recordings, we have served the customers in the remote areas, giving them 10 to 55 to 10,000 rupees against their balance. And we were using to maintain manual records for those. But after 10 days, when the connectivity restored, we have vouchered all those things and served our customers, our people, wasting time. So this was highly appreciated by the local people and all other. When no other bank was doing such a thing, we were serving our customers through offline mode, through giving them, because we know we are local people, we know almost every customer. So keeping the record of their transactions, we served them through offline mode. This was in 2014. Then in
Sorry, sir, for
2006,
interruption.
yes, sir.
Sir, can you please conclude your presentation in 2 minutes?
Sure, sir, sure, definitely. In 2016, again, the Kashmir Valley was shut because of widespread violence. But in those days, bank was thinking on different lines. We have implemented Aadhaar payment bridge system. We have implemented NACH, National Automated Clearing House. We have been a member of NPCI, National Payments Corporation of India. We have launched ATM services. We have launched RuPay debit card services. We have launched POS, point of sale machine, and these e-commerce was launched by the bank. These all services are the first offered by any cooperative bank in Jammu and Kashmir, because no other bank had such facility that time. So again, the negative that was going on in Kashmir, we were working on a positive from our side. Then in 2019 and 20, everyone knows initially we were shut here because of abrogation of Article 370, and later the COVID-19 lockdown was imposed across countries. So the Kashmir Valley was almost closed for almost a year. But in those days, what we did, we have launched a mobile banking service. So this is again the first cooperative bank of J&K, mobile banking. So no other bank, in fact, even today, no other cooperative bank has such a facility. So we have so many other options available in the mobile banking app of our bank. So we are currently working on UPI, a remitter beneficiary. Our bank is already added as a beneficiary in the UPI. So we'll be working as a remitter in UPI also in coming month. So these are the financials, sir. These are the finances of growth for last 5 years. Deposits have grown, advances have grown, income has also grown. There were some hiccups during the year 2020 because of obvious reasons, but rest our growth has been consistent. These are other financial ratios. Key ratios are CAR, CRAR, capital to capital education ratio is sufficient. It's more than 9, which is prescribed. and our CASA ratio is comfortable at 60%. Our CDR is touching for 60. Gross NPA is currently it is 5.67%, and the net NPA is 1.94%. This is all that I have, sir, on my side. I thank you for inviting us to represent our bank and before the SKOCH. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good presentation, Omar. And see, I have worked in J&K, and I know how difficult it is, more so to run a bank in all those areas. So hats off to you. I could
you,
quickly see your parameters. I think you have done wonderfully well because all desired parameters are there. Whether it is a CASA, CD ratio, and whether it is a recovery, your NPAs, net NPAs. So all the best to you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
But what are your plans? I mean, you are just having 5 branches now, and now the scenario is relatively calm. So
exactly, sir. Since last 2 years, it's relatively calm, and the business are now giving focus for their expansion and other things. So we are also thinking to expand our operations to other areas where the presence of the banks is less, the unbanked areas. So we are moving towards extreme north. So we are having a branch in Kupwara, but there's one more town in the Kupwara side, that is Handwara. So we are planning to open a branch in Handwara. We are planning to open a branch in Uri. That's absolutely right on the LOC. So we're also planning. So we're also trying to move towards the center, that is towards Srinagar. But our area of operations is currently confined to 3 northern districts, District Baramulla, Bandipora, Kupwara. We have requested government to give us operational area for Srinagar also. So once that's given, we'll be opening a branch in Srinagar. So Srinagar will be our bank will be the first urban cooperative bank having its branch in Srinagar city, sir. So we have plans of expansion.
All the best. All the best to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your steady and successive growth plans. In fact, you have made digital transformation for your bank, despite all the adversities which you have mentioned. Congratulations to you for your excellent work.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Projects from Gwalior. And my name is Partho Patimnath. I'm the Deputy Team Leader for Project Development and Management Consultant, Gwalior Smart City. So in next couple of minutes, what I'll do, I'll quickly take you through the first shortlisted project, which is the Digital Museum and Planetarium. It's a heritage conservation project. And can I have my screen shared?
Sir, you can share your presentation.
All right. Just one moment. But before I move on, first of all, this discussion and learning from my peer groups, it has been really amazing. So thanks a lot to SKOCH Group, because it brings together stakeholders from such a diverse background. So it has really been amazing to listen to other cities, their wonderful projects, their initiatives taken. So I hope that the examples that we are showcasing, we will receive a lot of good feedbacks also. We look forward to that. So why this digital museum is very famous, I'll start with the mission statement of Gwalior Smart City. Next. It's in Hindi actually. It says that Virasatu ka Sanrakshan, Vikas ka Darpan. If we translate it into English, it reads as conservation of heritage, which is a true mirror of development. I repeat, conservation of heritage is a true mirror of development. Now, on behalf of Gwalior Smart City, go back please. I'm really proud to say that this mission statement, it has not remained just as mission statement, but we as a team have lived up to it, because Gwalior, you are aware that It is famous for its built heritage. There are numerous historical buildings which are a living testimony of a wonderful confluence of multiple architectural styles. We have Maratha architecture, we have British era Victorian architecture, we have, of course, Rajput architecture, we have Portuguese architecture and all. The reason I'm saying this as a backdrop is that the project that we are discussing right now, Digital Museum and Planetarium, it is a wonderful blend of heritage conservation and latest modern day ICT technology. And this project actually demonstrates that if both these go hand in hand, the old and new, then probably we can create wonderful user experience, which I'll be demonstrating in my subsequent slides. Another key highlight of this project is that, through this project, we have been able to create a wonderful wide network of people and volunteers who have a keen interest towards heritage conservation and who have a keen interest to showcase Gwalior's history also. So this project is one of its kind in the context of Gwalior because it did not have a digital museum, digital heritage museum. Plus, this is a stepping stone. This is a foundation stone, we say, because we have been able to create a database and people who probably will take this agenda forward. Next. So before I move on, I would like to take a pause to set the context right. Because this museum that you see, it's not a standalone development that Gwalior Smart City has done. This map in the center, the Google map that you see, it says that the museum is a part and parcel of a very carefully crafted template or a master plan. Now, this area is the famous Maharaj Bara area. The green roundabout that you see, it's basically, we call it a GID chalk. And this Maharaj Bara used to be the administrative and commercial capital of Gwalior. So around this GID chalk, you have all important institutional buildings. So what we have done as part of Gwalior Smart City is that we have first restored these buildings, we have conserved them, we have done their facade improvement. On a bigger scale, we are pedestrianizing this entire Maharajwara Chowk. So in future, people who are coming here, who are thronging in the evening, they don't have to be afraid of traffic woes. The museum is down south. Beside the museum, we are developing a multi-level car park, which will be about 400 plus ECS or equivalent car space category. But the point that I'm trying to make here is this multi-level car park will be all underground. So we have taken due care that no multi-story structure becomes eyesore to the existing heritage structures. So I'll just sum up this particular slide, just to align all of us that museum development is a part of a holistic master plan, holistic conservation master plan, and rejuvenation master plan that Gwalior Smart City has already brought forth. Next, please. So I don't need to talk much about the need of this project. You can see from the photographs. So this building needed a complete makeover. So structural retrofitting was required because it was not structurally safe. The hygienic condition of the building was extremely poor. So the amenities and services, it needed a complete spruce up. You can see the bottom or the middle image, right image, that Gwalior is famous for its, stone arches. And the stone color of Gwalior is actually a light brown color, which is Gwalior's natural color. But going against all conservation protocols, a white lime finish has been applied. So that shows the scant regard that this building has received in the past. So with this backdrop, what exactly we did? Next, please. This is an extension of the previous slide. I'll take a half a minute to explain. The top right picture you can see, in the wonderful courtyard, we actually constructed a toilet. And on the left-hand side, extreme left, orange color dotted line, we constructed a metal ladder. And in terms of structural safety, the roof, the buildings, the walls, etc., they needed a lot of retrofitting measures. The walls we have already talked about, the stone arches and all. So in a nutshell, if we had to plan for any adaptive reuse for this particular building. Conservation is one part, but then putting it to a productive reuse, we had to do a lot of makeover, which we have done. And in subsequent slide, I'll show that how we have ensured the transformation of this building. Next. So, hard intervention is one part, that is the restoration, the conservation part. Now, what we also did is we married the latest modern, ICT-based solutions with the hard conservation methods. So we have virtual reality tours of famous heritage monuments in Gwalior, which can be experienced in this. We have digital walls, we have interactive kiosks, and in this Gwalior Museum, we have 16 different galleries based on 16 different themes. One theme is like, what are the dynasties in Gwalior who have ruled? One theme is what are the industries that they have had in Gwalior? And one theme is that what are the musical legacies that Gwalior has experienced? So likewise, in every particular theme, somebody can experience it through thoroughly with the help of these ICT-based smart solutions. Next. So this is what it looks like, after transformation. I'll explain it one by one. The left-hand side image, if you look at, and it's important to mention here that all the works that you see, all the wonderful work that you see, are done by local artisans. For example, the image on the wall, the colorful image, it's called Chitera art, which is very famous in Bundelkhand region. So, and the blue art that you see, this is a trademark. You can see similar paintings on Gwalior Fort as well. You look at the tiles, these are custom made tiles. These are custom made to suit the heritage requirements. You look at the stone. Yeah.
Sorry, sir, for interruption. Can you please conclude your presentation in 2 minutes?
In 2 minutes, perfect. So this is how we actually ensured a makeover. And if we talk about the innovation aspect, another thing is the financial sustainability part. This is managed by a private agency completely. So government is not spending. In return, we are earning per year from that private agency. Next. So these are the images. You can correlate the courtyard, what it has been transformed to after proper conservation efforts. Next. This is what it looks like at dusk. And I invite all my participants here, please pay a visit and have a look at the museum, how wonderful it looks like in that historical setting. Next. These are the different ICT-based solutions that I was talking about, and different galleries like Rav Gragini, local Chitera, etc. Next. This is about the planetarium. I'll take half a minute to explain. Our idea was to have a planetarium because the entire region does not have any. But at the same time, we wanted to ensure that we don't create a white elephant. So this planetarium is a very small scale one. It's just a 32-seater planetarium that we have created with some galleries which are dedicated on different artifacts or display shown on the universe, achievements of NASA, achievements of ISRO, its different missions, etc. And it's a super hit in the context, people are just thronging like anything. Next. So this is the final slide, If I talk about the replicability of the project, definitely there are so many heritage buildings that are lying unattended where we do not pay attention. But through this project, we can demonstrate that if you develop a product that has a value proposition, then private partners will come forward to, in your endeavor. And ultimately, it can run on a self-sustainable mode. As I said, we are earning from its operation and maintenance, which is done by an agency. And secondly, in terms of value addition, the rich heritage of Gwalior, which are being displayed in this museum, coupled with the planetarium, it's a wonderful project, and we are really glad that we have been able to add some value in Gwalior. Next. So I conclude my presentation here. And how do we go about it? We take question and answers now, or I conclude my second presentation?
I think we can take if there is any question, we can take just now.
Perfect. Please.
Now, you have spent around 12 crore on this.
So yeah, actually 12 crore is including, future liability also. If you look at the hardcore civil cost, both put together, the museum part, including its artifacts and the planetarium display. So we have spent about 7 to 8 crores of rupees on this particular project.
And any increase in number of, visitors to this place?
Oh, yes, yes. So that's I really like this question, sir, because that's what this ultimate objective of this project is. See,
Yeah.
currently we just opened this project for public operation, and we are already having more than 300 persons per day. This 300% does not include the school children. Those are free actually on behalf of government for planetarium and museum. But 300 number is basically the ticket number that people are purchasing tickets. And as I said, to compensate the concessionaire who is operating and managing this particular project, we have allowed a boutique cafe on the first floor, a boutique cafe and souvenir shop. So that is how the cross subsidization is taking place in this project.
Okay, good. Thank you from my side.
Thank you.
Sir, your idea is very robust. In fact, it is. I think it need to be replicated in other cities, smart cities also, because 7-8 crore investment is not a big investment at for such a noble cause, and you have really built this project. It is worth replicating in other cities also.
Yes, absolutely, Professor Sharma. I mean, I have heard you on different forum also, and it's so nice to interact with you on this forum as well. That's the point. We normally, when we do city plan, city investments, we normally think too big, and we overspend on projects which probably, if we analyze the cost and benefit, that probably is very skewed. This is a project where from the very outset, we were very conscious on cost, that we'll not spend too much. Even though we have 950 crores of smart city funds, we were conscious that we'll probably close it within 5 to 6 crores. And if you look at the conservation cost, this building condition you have seen in the past, and this is what it has been transformed into.
In fact, many business houses can also come for this such projects. I think
Absolutely.
it is worth evaluating. Many business houses are interested. If you put their board somewhere, definitely this is worth replicating in other cities also. Please interact with other counterparts in other smart cities also.
Definitely.
Wonderful.
No, thank you so very much.
You can take the next one.
Yes. And this is again, you can say, a conservation effort, but it's not purely conservation, because the objective of this particular project was that the amazing artisans that Gwalior has produced so far, to handhold them, and particularly those artisans who are vulnerable. So what happened is that this project, we already had a very small building, very old building, which was established by Ministry of Textile, which is at the heart of the city. But in terms of architectural design, it was not suitable, wherein different type of artisans or different genre of artisans, they could conduct their business effectively. So that is the hard part of it, about the spatial built environment was not proper. But more than that, what was happening is that the handholding of artisans and to make them market ready, that was slowly getting diminished. So at this juncture, what we took up the challenge is twofold. Number one is that we will revamp the existing building, will make it suitable for the artisans, will make it attractive for visitors so that they pay visit to the exhibition halls and all. And number two, we will keep this market linkage. We will improve this market linkage, make artisans market ready so that their livelihood increases and improves. Next slide, please. So this is what I was talking about, this is the building, or this is the facility before our intervention. Now you can see from the images that the rooms that are built are actually not suitable for different kind of artisans. First of all, there was no segregation. So a stone artist or a sculptor, he needs a bigger space, and his way of working will be much different from somebody working in handloom or somebody working in potteries. So first of all, what we did is we repurposed this particular building. We reorganized the internal spaces. We interacted with the artisans. We took their feedback, and we understood that what are their specific space requirements. So accordingly, we reorganized the internal spaces. But that was a job easier done. The biggest hurdle of this particular project was that this is situated right at the heart of the city and very close to the public recreational area. We call it Bajatal, which is bang opposite to this project. So the bottom portion that you see is actually the entrance. So ideally, any art and craft center, its design should be very inviting, that outsiders should feel encouraged to enter into the building. There should be enough visual connection. But conversely, what was happening was there was an opaque boundary wall. It's a solid boundary wall of 8 feet high, which was discouraging people to have an entry into inside the building. And there was no visual connection. So first of all, what we did is we replaced the boundary wall with Gwalior's. Gwalior is very famous for its jalis, where we have a GI tag also for Gwalior jalis. So we replaced the opaque boundary wall with Gwalior jali pattern boundary wall. So immediately we could establish a visual connection. There was a lot of interest from visitors who throng in, large numbers during the evening in Bajatal. So they had a lot of interest. Number two, the immediate surrounding after entrance. That landscaping was not proper, or you can see the images from below. It was very unorganized and very uninviting. So we made the landscaping in such a manner that where people can actually display their products, artisans can display, as well as outsiders are encouraged to have a stall inside this building. And number three, of course, the hygienic condition was not proper. So the utilities and services were revamped. So this, in a nutshell, I would summarize what our hard interventions have been to spruce up the building, to make it more vibrant, to make it more conducive for artisans to conduct their business, where they can camp here for days, where they can have their sculptures ready and display that and also sell them off. And we added a couple of things. For example, the display areas or the exhibition halls, seminar halls, or a center for performing art. These all were missing because if you want to make a place happening, you need to combine multiple things. You need to combine art with music, with food. So we also planned a space where you can actually have a space for, food mela kind of a thing. And you can have a music festival also, performance for or center for performing arts kind of a thing. So all these things put together, I'm happy to say that now the building is a truly vibrant one. I'll show you the images later on. Next. So this is what we talked about. There are a couple of, there are 4 pronged strategy that we adopted. One is revamping the spaces, as I talked about, different spaces for different artisans, but well integrated with each other. Art, music, of course, because those are the things that add sparks to life. Then food, we also regularly organize our food melas just to make the things happening and just to ensure enough footfalls. Next. The challenges, I would say that the hard intervention, that is renovating the building, making it more vibrant, that is much easier. I would not consider it much of a challenge. But the biggest challenge was to identify different artisans, because in India still, our ancient arts, we do not have enough documents ready where we have a list of artisans done. So we worked with tourism department, we worked extensively with district administration and also NGOs at grassroots level, because a lot of artists, they don't get the visibility. They are often not recognized, or their names also do not appear anywhere. So we had to go to remote villages to identify artisans who have been practicing it from generations after generation. And the next task was to build their confidence. You organize trainings, you organize seminars, and you handhold them then how can they probably do their products better so that they become market ready. And finally, you organize those exhibitions and marketing events so that they can sell off the products. Next. This is what the transformed space look like. Look at the exhibition area. Previously, it was a very dull kind of a thing. Nobody would actually feel like, moving inside and buying a sculpture. But this space, I'm happy that ever since we have developed, I'll show the, actual impact. This project has contributed to almost 5 times. Yeah, I'm almost done.
Sure.
Yeah, almost done, just half a minute. Yeah, thanks. So this project has contributed increase of income by 5-fold. And see the bottom pictures. So this is the inviting nature of landscaping that I was talking about, coupled with the different spaces. And the top right picture is the training hall. That's our former CEO, Ms. Jaiti Singh, who herself conducting our training programs. Next. These are the photos of different workshop areas, which are segregated now. Next. This is the impact, till date, we have been able to train about 300 artisans. And we have conducted about 12 training programs and 8 exhibitions. So these exhibitions are actually marketing events that we conduct. And read the last sentence. I mean, this is something that gives us utmost satisfaction as an authority, because that is the objective of this project, almost 5 times increase in income of the artisans. So these kind of projects are need of the hour. That's what I would say. And I end my presentation here. Floor is open for question and answer. Okay.
Thank you very much. Actually, no questions. You are doing good work. Except I have one suggestion to give, because you see, when I happen to go abroad, I have happened to see some of such things, training centers and all that. There we find that they have earmarked some area where the visitor, they are encouraged to practically do the things which the artisans are doing. For example, if somebody is making some clay pot or something like that, more so the children, they will love to do those things, copy those things and enjoy that. So that sort of thing can also be introduced to increase people visiting that place and making it more attractive.
Absolutely, sir. A wonderful suggestion. In fact, let me tell you, sir, out of this stone sculpture, we already have that in pottery section. So in potteries, the response has been overwhelming by citizens, but we are mulling the idea to be replicated in other sections as well, like stone, wood, and other things. But it's an excellent suggestion, sir. Excellent one. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Keep on doing the good work.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Sir, excellent work, in fact, but I think these artists which have built so much credible products, they should also be kept in loop forever, or maybe deployed somewhere else in a similar job in maybe in Gwalior or somewhere else in the country. So I think they need to be engaged and kept their interest alive, so that this rare work is spread in India.
Absolutely, sir. That's actually need of the hour, because our experience say that many artists were on the verge of taking up other professions,
Surely.
And yes, so we have been able to contact only a minuscule part of the entire talent pool, but a much more needs to be done in terms of tapping all the artists, particularly our people who have been practicing it generation after generation. So point well taken, sir. That's the need of the hour. I mean,
Definitely in an entire country, such projects are maybe happening in other cities also, but you can redeploy them somewhere else with your recommendation and with these established good work. They need to be uh, get employed anywhere else also. Otherwise, this culture will go. Thank
Definitely.
you, please.
Fully.
Excellent, outstanding, and brilliant work, in fact.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. Yeah.
You, you have national highways at 16 kilometers, 2 railway stations, and 1 airport within 20 kilometers of range. It is strategically located very close to the state capital of Chhattisgarh, that is Raipur. So we'll be trying Kuri. It is a small village in Arang Tehsil in Raipur district of Chhattisgarh. With a census population of around 3,500 in the year 2011, the village is very rich in having places of historical importance. So this particular temple, known as the Mata Kaushalya temple, is one of the oldest, which is believed to be existent since 8th century. There is a Shiva temple, which is also very ancient and has been identified as a place of importance by state archaeology in the is also there, which is in the proximity of 2 kilometers from the present project what we are discussing into. As far as the project is concerned, the entire project development cycle took a lot of effort by the Chhattisgarh government. It was initiated long back in 2005, but only in the year 2019 it was given a actual phase and actual setup in the as far as development is concerned. It took a lot of desk research as far as mythology is concerned. It involved a lot of desk research and site visits and stakeholder consultations first. Uh, After that, the project was conceptualized and it was approved by the various departments in Chhattisgarh. In the year 2020, the onboarding of implementing agencies, mainly the PSU state government PSUs, VAPAS and HPL was brought into the picture for taking up this prestigious project. And preparation of DPR was done in the year 2020, and then the project took off. The project is being monitored by these agencies as well as Chhattisgarh Tourism Board and is being inaugurated in phases. As far as Chandkuri is concerned, it is spread in an area of around 25 acres. It is being developed in 3 phases, and the components are mainly the reshaping the present water bodies, creation of the connection between the island from the mainland, the main gates, kiosks, and Rama statue, Deep Stamp, light and laser show, etc., as part of the component for the entire development, that too in phases. This is a brief of the components which is spread across the 25 acres of the land which is there in Chandpuri in an area of around 1 lakh square meters. It has a pond of around 65 to 70,000 square meter. Remaining 30,000 meters has all these components, namely the development of plazas, the statues, the redevelopment of the island, and other accommodation facilities in the area. As discussed, the timeline, it started in 2019 with conceptualization, implementation in 2020, and 2021 we could complete the first phase, and it was inaugurated through a grand event by in presence of Honorable CM. 2022 we have completed the second phase of project, and 2023 we are aiming to complete the entire project. These are few of the pictorial representation, pictorial view of the present progress of work in Chandpuri. You can see the entire landscape having the big gate, kiosk, small gate, statue, landscaping, temple, redevelopment, and ghat development all in one theme of Ramayana. With the challenges which we faced, the innovation which we have implemented, and the outcome as a part of implementation of the project. So we have conducted a analysis for the project. As far as strength is concerned, the temple is existing since 8th century. It has a strong belief of association with Ramayana. There are number of water bodies. It is believed to have 126 water bodies in this small village, out of which approximately 20 and 25 is still there. It is one of the important place and considered as the birthplace of Mata Kaushalya from the scripts of Ramayana. As far as weakness is concerned, it had unavailability of basic infrastructure. The water bodies were unhygienic. There were no recreational facilities, and the temple area management was not that strong. Opportunity, it had a strong potential for religious tourism, and it is very close to the major transport infrastructure in this state. Challenges were the most difficult part of our entire project. It had local resistance, and the desk research of establishing mythology in the present situation was one of the difficult tasks which took years together to establish. And it got established through two different scripts by Dr. Hemu Yadu and Dr. Rama Avatar, which has who have researched on this and identified these locations. So these are the solutions which we implemented. Basically, the redevelopment of the temple area, cleaning, deepening, and redevelopment of the old pond. Toilet blocks and sitting facilities, implementation of modular shop, parking, development of light, laser, and sound show in the revived pond, and many more components into it. As far as innovation is concerned, as we previously told us, as one of our challenges,
Rohit sir, are you there?
sorry for this.
Sir, I'm just sharing the screen. Let me know when to change the slide. I think. Yes, sir.
I have
You can
shared.
continue.
Is it visible?
Yes, you can continue.
Okay. I think we lost our connection in the phase of innovation, right?
Yes.
So as far as innovation is concerned, as we previously told, we had unhygienic water bodies, which was huge. Around 16 acres of water bodies are there, in which, in the middle of which this island was there. So this project has delightfully conserved the entire water bodies, cleaned it, deepened it, and have also beautified it. Also, there has been a plan of implementing water, laser, and lights show over here to represent the entire mythology and to showcase the mythology through this particular technology. We have also constructed jyot halls. Just to let you know, in Chhattisgarh, there is strong belief of lightning jyots during all these Navratris. So, for taking that into consideration, Jyot Hall has been constructed and designed for this project, which has also been taken, which has also been exemplary in implementation at other locations and is already taking place. The entire development, as told, is based on a theme of Ramayana. So the outcomes, as far as the outcomes of the entire development is concerned, we have got a beautiful revamped temple premises which belongs to the history. It is of 8th century. It has it has importance in the scripts of Ramayana. So the entire premises have now been revived, and we have availability of basic recreational infrastructure in terms of sitting facilities, in terms of world-class toilet facilities and other facilities over there. The increased tourist and pilgrim footfall, which have been noticed for previously, as reported by the temple Samiti, it was around 500 people per week. Now it has increased to around 3,000 and 3,500 people visiting this place per week. It has also led to increase in the local income of locals and temple Samiti that also have been reported by the temple Samiti. We are able to promote Chhattisgarh's inherited religious tourism through this project, and this has created an identity for Chhattisgarh tourism in being pioneer to start the Raman Gaman Paratan Paripath in Chhattisgarh. So moving ahead, we have also identified few more locations in phase
Sorry
1,
for
9
interruption,
locations.
sir, can you conclude your presentation in 2 minutes?
Yes. We are just moving towards conclusion. So in first phase, we have 9 locations out of the research 75 location in this state for the development. These are Sitamarhi, Ramgarh, Rajim, Srivinarayan, Turturia, Jagdalpur, Chandpuri, Shihaba, and Ramaram. These are the views of Tourist Information Center or Ramayana Interpretation Center, which we have been implementing at all these locations. The progress, as far as the progress of first phase is concerned, as I told, Chandpuri phase 1 and phase 2 has already been done, and at all other locations, the work is under progress. These are few of the photographs for other locations which we have been implementing. This is Shabri statue of Shivri Narayan. There is a temple in Shivri Narayan. The ghat of Shivri Narayan is being developed. We have been putting statues of Rama at different locations. And that's all. We can move ahead with Q&A.
Thank you very much. Overall, very good presentation, though there were some hiccups. Nevertheless, I think you have done wonderfully well. It's a excellent thing to conserve your heritage and also promote tourism side by side. So thank you very much. No questions from us. Keep on doing the good work.
Thank you, sir. Very good effort. In fact, this Sabri temple you have mentioned, is it in Chhattisgarh? In which city is this?
Near Raigad is
Okay. Thank you, please.
Yes, sir. It is a place called Shivri Narayan.
Okay.
It has been derived from Shabri Narayan, and the present name of this place is Shivri Narayan.
Okay. Good. Thank you, please.